Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Adobe Live. Today is September 17th, and we are very excited to be joined by Morgan Hastie. I am Ryan Selvey, and we are here to go over a illustration design project about an ice cream character. So I'll shoot it over to Morgan and let us know what we're working on. Let us know before that even. Let's track back. We are live on both YouTube and Behance. We're gonna make this worth your while if you're watching the replay. But Morgan, can you start off by maybe introducing yourself as an artist?
Yeah, hi. So I'm Morgan. I'm from Glasgow, Scotland, and I am mostly a graphic designer, but I specialize in brand identity and packaging design because I love doing it. It's not, yeah, but I do a bit of everything. And I'm also a design student, so I'm still at uni as well.
Oh, wow. So you're
Yeah.
juggling classes and also design work at the same time. Do you have a favorite class this semester
Yeah.
so far?
Yeah. Did you say, am I enjoying them?
Yeah, do you have a favorite one? Favorite class?
Oh, well, we do it kind of weird. We do like two at a time. But
Oh,
right now we're doing this huge campaign about the Amazon, and that's been really good. So I'm enjoying that. And then dissertation, I'm not enjoying so much. So it's easy to pick a favorite right now.
yeah, that makes sense. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to share your screen and we can talk a little bit
Yeah,
about what we're working on today. This is
cool.
so cute.
Okay,
I'm so
amazing.
excited.
Yeah, so yeah, a bit of background. Like I made this in summer because to be honest, I just wanted to make an ice cream brand and I love illustrating and I wanted to do a bit of practicing. So I did four flavors and they're very summery, as you can see, the colors and everything. And this is the sort of layout of the packaging itself. But I decided, it's September. Let's sort of build out the range. And today we're going to be doing a pumpkin spice flavor. So we're going to be building another character who I sketched out in Adobe Fresco earlier. And I've just dropped that in, and I just love that I can drop it directly in from Fresco. It's the best. So I'm just basically going to be tracing over this and showing you how to create sort of clean vector lines. I'm actually just going to go into Smart Guides here and snap within the active artboard. I think that's a new update actually that was recommended by the community, but it's been super easy because now I've not got things snapping out here and I just want to make sure that's aligned.
That's great.
And then what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just turn the opacity down here and lock that just so I can trace over it without moving it around.
Jacob says, "Oh my God, what a cutie illustration," which I definitely agree with. Also, hello to Andrea and Steven, Miriam. Thank you guys for being here. If you guys have questions for Morgan as we're working through stuff, we will be relaying all the questions and comments over to her as she's working. So, by all means, please throw
Yes,
them in the
please. I
chat.
love questions.
Um, and especially if you have also just nice things to say, even if it's not a question, even if you're just vibing with what we're working on, please let us know. We're here for about the next 50 minutes or so, and so we've got plenty of time to cover lots of ground. Um, as you're literally like working right towards the ground right now, which is kind of funny. But um, uh, let's
I know I
see
often
here.
look at these illustrations like, where do I even start? Because
Yeah,
I never have like a set place to start. I always just start in like the most random area and just see the vibes on the
yep.
day.
So do you
Maybe not a
generally
good
go in
system.
with the pen tool and then kind of just do a rough shape and then kind of finesse with the rounded corner tool like I'm seeing you doing here?
Yes. So I will usually do the main shapes with the pen tool, which is what you can see me doing here, and then just sort of adjusting those curves slightly as I'm doing it. But then I'll obviously go back and line up the anchor points and just make sure everything's a bit more. I don't want to say perfect because it's never perfect, especially in this illustration style, which is nice, but just makes it feel a little bit more polished and sort of lined up. And then I actually like to do more complex shapes with the pencil tool because I think the pencil tool is really good for getting like kind of more organic curves and doing things like this grass, for example, or the hair, I'll do using the pencil tool.
That's fantastic.
I'm actually, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and I actually just realized I've not got snapping on. There we go.
Snap, crackle, and pop. Not sponsored.
Yeah. I know it's so handy having the snapping here now instead of having to go up to view and turn it on that way.
Right.
I'm
Yeah,
actually
snap the
just going to do
grid,
it to
snap the
pixel
pixel.
because yeah, that's my
And maybe I'll
favorite.
like stop struggling as much because I personally would just kind of not even it's one of those things. It's like if you have a box on the floor, do you pick up the box or do you walk around it? And I'm like, I'll walk around it for a lot longer than it would take to just move the box. Uh,
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm very like, I don't want to say I'm lazy. I'm not, but I love shortcuts and
yeah,
I feel like there was no real shortcut before, but now there is, thankfully. So thank you
certainly.
to Adobe for listening.
Steven is in the chat asking a great question. Says, I know you're a big packaging designer. How are you able to balance freelance work and being a full time university student? Jonas also
Oh
says,
my
Yo,
gosh.
Morgan. Hey, Jonas.
Yay, hi. Yeah, how am I able to balance it? The answer is sometimes I'm not. And that is
You're like, I
just
don't.
me. That is just me being like super truthful. To be honest, it's a lot of time management and a lot of looking at the project in depth beforehand. And my lecturers are super big on time plans, which is great because that really helps me, sort of holds me accountable. But I mean, for example, today I had to submit my dissertation report, then come here and do this, and then I'm streaming later, and it's so much, and it's all these amazing opportunities, and you don't want to say no. You want to do fun stuff like this. So it is just about really kind of figuring out where your priorities are, and I like to sort of make to-do lists in threes so that I don't get overwhelmed,
Do you do
and I'll
digital
just
to do
break it
lists or do
down.
you write them down on a piece of paper?
Oh, it depends. So sometimes it's literally just the most messy thing in my phone notes. And that's usually when things occur to me last minute and I'm like, oh no, that's tomorrow or whatever.
Right.
But then if I'm like having a day where I feel super organized and I'm trying to get my life in order, I'll sit with a pretty notepad and a nice pen and I'll do it. I'll handwrite it all and it's lovely. And
You break out
most of the time,
the feather
yeah,
and the
those are the ones that
inkwell
never
and
get done.
you write to yourself in beautiful cursive.
Yeah, and it looks lovely and it's all color coded and stuff, but the ones in the notes are the ones that I actually pay attention to, I would
Yeah,
say.
their priority.
Um, but yeah, so it's really just about time management with kind of balancing freelancing and being a student. And it's hard because my lecturers obviously want me to prioritize
Yep.
the uni, which is completely fair, but then I also need money, so it's
To pay
just
for uni.
yeah, to pay for these things. So it's treading that line and just like making sure that everything gets 100% of my attention when I'm on it and
Right.
not going between too many tasks at once. And I always try to take on a little bit less work during the school year as well.
No, that makes sense. And it's the constant struggle and I feel like when it's not school, it's something else, you know? I think that
Yeah.
we just kind of go from life event to life event and have to find ways to balance it. Um, we have
Yeah. I swear when they
Miriam also saying so real. And then we have the Imaginative Fairy asking if this video will be available on the Adobe channel after the live. And yes, whether you're watching this live or as a replay, we hope that you learn plenty of resources and you also get inspired. We'd love to see anything that you guys create. If you guys create your own character, make sure you share it in the Adobe Live Discord, which has a slot for. I have this under In Studio. But you can really put it anywhere, and we'd just love to see what you guys work on. Kurta RB is also saying that you are such an inspiration. So you have quite the
Oh,
fanfare
that's
in the
lovely.
chat, which is
Thank
great.
you. I'm recognizing quite a few of these names as well, which is lovely. So thank you so much, guys, for coming along and tuning in. Yeah.
Yeah. Please tell me you're
Hopefully this
using a
is
stylus right now, because if you're doing this with your mouse, I'm gobsmacked.
I'm doing this with my mouse. I used to be a
What?
trackpad. Yeah, so I used to be a trackpad gal. And I was so trackpad like loyal. And
Yeah,
people used to come for me all the time because I used to make like Instagram tutorials and whatnot.
yeah,
And all the comments would be like, buy a mouse. Like I can buy a mouse. I just like my trackpad. So then I eventually bought a mouse, which was, I'm not gonna lie, it was life changing. Like it's made it so much easier. But I
right.
think all that practice with my trackpad has made it faster for me with my mouse, which is great. So here it is.
A magic mouse, no less, which is its own
Yeah.
thing. Okay, so you're working your way through this character still, and you are using the pen tool kind of just to
Yes.
make
So right
general
now I'm sort of
outlines.
going between the pen and pencil. Yeah, just
Yep.
to sort of, like you say, do general outlines, and then I'm gonna go back in and sort of tweak it. I'm gonna maybe do some playing around with the width tool. I've actually not decided yet if that's going to be the direction that this takes, like a little
Right.
bit more hand-drawn effect. So I guess I'll just see where the mood takes me with that one. But yeah, just trying to get this general shape down, and then we can start to sort of refine it a bit more and go in and add some more detail.
Now, with that in mind, do you tend to work all on a singular layer the entire time, or will you go back and kind of divide these up into different layers?
So eventually, yes, I will divide these into different layers. And the reason, especially for this project, is because I took it into After Effects and I added like animation.
Yep,
So it needed to be in separate layers. But I do tend to work in different layers anyway. The
of course.
reason I don't do it when I'm going with illustrations, for example, is because I actually really like using the shape builder tool to color things in and just have everything be on the one layer for shading and stuff.
Hmm.
And then afterwards, I'll ungroup that all and go through and sort of organize it, which maybe is counterproductive. Like maybe it would be faster to just do it as I go, but I feel like I'm in that
I'm right
workflow
there with you though.
and
It's
it
the
works
box
for me, you
thing. The
know?
box is on the floor.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just gonna deal with it later, and it'll still work out in the end, so we're fine.
Yeah. And sometimes it doesn't need to be on different layers, so I can
Yeah.
save myself a bit of time if I'm just going in on the one, you know?
Jacob says, "Trackpad girly, listen, I get it."
Yeah.
um,
Trackpads are honestly, when you don't have a mouse and you're broke, like I was like first year student. I was doing everything with my MacBook Air from 2015 and like crashing out all the time. But yeah, trackpad is that's where I learned, you know?
Miriam's also saying that they lost their stylus and I'm suffering with their mouse now. So it's always it's you got to be flexible, I guess. Now
Good
we're
to
working
have these skill
on.
sets, isn't it?
Say again.
Good to have different skill sets in case of emergency,
Yeah,
I
put that on
guess.
your resume. Trackpad, mouse, stylus doesn't matter. Throw me in, coach.
Yep, I'll work with it. I'm actually just, yeah, I think I guess you'd say, but that was the pencil tool. And then I'm just using the join tool just to sort of link that up because I actually didn't get it within the bounds. Um, but that's a good little trick that I always like to do because I'm sometimes a little bit inaccurate, especially when the stroke is big, like on this project.
Yeah.
I feel like it's super easy to miss where the point is lining up.
Now, did you edit your toolbar to have that join brush in there?
Yes, because I use
Okay.
it so much.
Yeah, because I
It
tend
lets
to
like
end up using the keyboard shortcut, but I like the idea of being able to just click on the brush and being able to kind of circle what I'm working on.
yeah, I do. Honestly, I love a keyboard shortcut. And it's weird because when I'm in the flow of drawing, like I am right now, I never use them because I'm sort of going between I'm mostly kind of focusing on my mouse.
Right.
But then when I'm doing other things, they just come to me like muscle memory, and I don't know what the block is there for me. It's so strange, but yeah, I love keyboard shortcuts in Adobe, but it's just super useful for me to have it here as well as like a reference. And then if I ever do forget the shortcut, I could just hover over it and it'll tell me.
It's funny that
Also
as
remind
you
me what
said
the
that, Miriam literally commented, "Don't know if I'm the only one who's kind of losing it over Morgan not using keyboard shortcuts."
Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. It's literally, I don't know why my brain works that way.
What are you
I was
talking? There's
like,
no need to
someone,
apologize. Everybody has their own process
yeah, we've
and
all got our own
workflow.
way, don't we? I was literally like, I bet someone says, why is she not pressing
Someone's gonna
P?
call it out.
My keyboard is way over there. So
Yeah.
it's like so far away too. I'm just gonna use the circle tool for these little sprinkles, guys. I don't think I'm gonna do as many as I've sketched here because now that I'm seeing the stroke width, I think it's gonna be a bit much.
You
But
can always add more later, right?
yeah, just do a little copy and paste.
Now, were you
And I
imagining
like
this
them.
as like a pumpkin ice cream, or is this
Yeah, so
a
this here, this is like a pumpkin latte, I
pumpkin
think.
latte? Okay. A
And
PSL.
for some reason, yeah, PSL season, which is ironic because I don't really like pumpkin spice. But I
I
was
don't
like,
either. I love pumpkin
such
beer.
a
Okay.
thing.
I love apple cider. I love pumpkin pie. The pumpkin spice lattes are way too sweet for me, and I have such a sweet tooth. I love sweet stuff. Um,
Yeah, but they're just not for you.
but I also am like sitting here literally drinking black coffee, so I don't know what that says about me.
To be fair, I love a black coffee. That's my go-to, so but I'll have it iced, which
Well, you
might be
also probably
controversial.
have really good coffee in your country, right? You guys like coffee?
Um, yeah, I'd say coffee's pretty popular in
Yeah,
Scotland. We've got lots of nice little independent shops, and where I live is like a small town by the sea. And we
of
have this one
course.
coffee shop that we go to every single morning.
I love
And my
that.
dog literally drags us there. So I have a good excuse to get a coffee every morning, which is
Oh wait,
good.
what kind of dog do you have?
I've got two miniature dachshunds,
Oh, so
dachshunds,
cute.
dachshunds. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
no, what is the
literally the
plural? I'm
best.
not sure. Dachshunds? This is
I know we
Dachshund
always say
eye.
dachshunds in Scotland, but then German people are always like, no, it's dachshund, but it doesn't sound right on my
Right.
Scottish tongue. I'm actually just gonna duplicate this using the
Love
Option
it.
key
Now that
because
right there was
it's
a
yeah.
keyboard shortcut. You held down Option, right?
Yes.
Yep. Let's see. We got all
I
representation
want it I
here.
want it noted. I just used a keyboard shortcut.
Get credit where credit is due. Welcome in,
Yes,
Kane. Says good
please.
morning. Good morning to you as well. Right now we're just
Morning.
working through a ice cream character illustration with Morgan. If you have any questions as we are going through things for her, please by all means throw them in the chat and I will relay it across. Love the little fingers, little like
I know,
circular.
I
Gives me
like them
like
feeling kind
Dexter's
of
Lab
fluid.
vibes.
Yeah, I wanted them to be kind of chunky and like imperfect and a bit cartoonish. Because it's just a bit more fun that way, I think.
Do you feel like you tend to draw the same characters over and over again, or do you draw kind of a new human every time you need to draw a human?
Honestly, what's weird is that I had never really done anything in this style before. And I sort of, when I was wanting to do this project, because the way that I like to approach passion projects, and I think it's a really good way of doing it, is that I just like to sort of pick a skill that I want to improve
Right.
and also treat it like it's a real client. So when you're coming at it from that angle of, okay, what do I want to learn from this? I made the decision of like, let's improve at illustration and then maybe let's do some animation as well. So what I did was decide to do this sort of illustrative brand and have it have like these kind of crazy mascots that are, somewhat unique. Like it's a style I've not really worked in before, but it's a style that came sort of naturally
Yeah.
to me when I was sketching them out. And then I look back at some old sort of cartoonish stuff that I'd done, and I tend to go for these sort of big, crazy ears, because I
Yes.
think they're quite fun. And that was something I was like, oh, that kind of just happened, so let's go with it. But yeah, I've never really done anything in this style before, so it was a good exercise for me to do something new. But I would say when I draw characters, I get in my head a lot. I wouldn't say I'm an illustrator, so it's very easy for me to sort of get a little bit lost in the weeds because I overthink it and I overcomplicate it. But then when
Hmm.
I made this, I sort of just sat down and did it for fun and to learn something new. And I was so glad that I did because I loved the result. So I guess it would be good for me if I maybe start experimenting with different styles, like you say, because I've not drawn enough characters to really answer that question. So I guess I'll have to experiment more and
Well, I think it
see.
turned out great though. I mean, I really like the character that's in it, both for the character and the style of its drawing. And it's surprising to hear that you don't do this often because it feels refined in the sense of it feels confident and it feels strong. So I think it looks great.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I did honestly, like I really enjoyed doing it and it's sort of inspired quite a lot of new client projects as well who were referencing this,
Hmm.
which is always a win. Like love that. So I was quite glad to then get some inquiries that were interested in this style of work. So yeah, hopefully get some more mascot-ish illustration content coming in the future when all those brands start to get rolled out and all that work starts to kind of see the light of day.
Um, And then I'm gonna actually, since it's a top of mind, I'm putting a poll in the YouTube chat of pumpkin spice latte, um, asking people if they like it, if they don't like it, or if they've never had one.
They are
I'm
so popular here. Everyone loves them, like goes
yeah,
crazy for them. I
a
used to
global
work at
phenomenon.
yeah, I used to work at a coffee shop and like honestly, people
Did you
would
really?
line up.
Were you
Yeah.
a barista?
I was a barista for 3 years at one coffee shop and
Oh
then
wow.
I switched to another competitor, which is funny. So I was like both sides of the on
And
both
so
sides
I'm
of it.
guessing you probably have, I don't know, particulars about how you prepare your own coffee in the morning, probably then, right?
Got some little techniques for instant coffee that we figured out. Like if this might not be true, but I've just been operating as if it's true.
Yeah.
I'm just using the shift width tool here, by the way, just to add a little bit of dynamism to that curve. I feel like it's a bit bulky, so I'm just gonna
And so
taper
you're
it
using
slightly.
the stroke adjustment tool, right?
Yeah, so if you press Shift and W, you get that tool. And what I like to do is
Keyboard
basically
shortcut.
just go over keyboard shortcut. Yeah, we should have a counter on the screen. Um, but just go to like where the stroke sits, and then I'll just taper the end, and that little one will just basically anchor the
Yeah.
rest of the shape, if that makes sense, because it's so easy for it to sort of go off.
And I also noticed you're doing some variants in your ending of your strokes. So it looks like you have a
Yes.
round cap on some, and you have kind of a pointed one on the eyelids.
Yes, so for the eyes
And
and the eyebrows, we've gone for a little point, which I literally just grabbed out of the profiles here.
got it.
Um, and that's just one of the presets. But you could also do that with the Shift W tool as well if you wanted to be more precise about it.
Right.
But when I was using the anchor points and stuff, it was it was good to me when I just adjusted that curve. Honestly, this preview for the pencil is like life changing.
Right?
I feel like I've not spoke about that at all, but like I can't remember what life was like before it.
I mean, it's kind of crazy to think of. I mean, was foremost a Photoshop user at the very beginning, like over whatever, how many years ago? Like 20 years ago now, which is crazy. Um,
Ow.
I was little when I started. Don't worry, I'm not 100 years old. Uh, but um, uh, I was so used to like using the brush tool and stuff, and then to come over in Illustrator and it not to have a preview was kind of jarring. But then now it's almost like I'm expecting it to not have a preview. So when it does have a preview, once again, it's jarring that
Yeah,
it's
you're like,
there.
oh, wait. Yeah, it's so strange, isn't it? Honestly, though, like it's weird because it makes so much sense for it to have a preview, but I just had gotten so used to it not having it. Now it feels like, oh my gosh, it's like it was never not there, you know?
Right.
But yeah, I've been loving it because it's good for me because as I said earlier, I'm a bit inaccurate with with my sketching. So
Jacob is in the chat saying, "Listen, there truly is nothing better than the options. Sometimes a sweet cup, and sometimes an espresso shot or flat white." And Miriam is also agreeing, saying options are great, just not pumpkin spice. Because in our poll, 45% of people have not had a pumpkin spice latte.
oh, they've not had it
36%
at
yes,
all.
and
Wow.
18% say no. Which
I have only tasted it.
you've never
Like
had like a full cup.
I didn't like it enough in the tasting process to ever get a full one, you know?
Yep. Now, I will say, and this is getting way far ahead, and I am sorry, but as soon as like middle of November hits, I switch over
Oh
to
no.
a peppermint mocha,
Yes.
and I will slurp down a peppermint mocha for a very long time.
I was gonna say like it'll come so quickly.
Yeah. I love the
It's gonna
flowing
be
of the
upon
hair
us before
here.
we know it.
I like how long
Yeah,
it is.
honestly, the hair is so fun. Like just a little squiggly line. It's nothing, but it just adds so much movement and character with these.
Absolutely. And so I know you said you're not normally as illustrative when you are doing your branding. I did see a recent article like 2 weeks ago or so that said that mascot branding out is currently outperforming all other branding. So there's brands like Brawny and Snuggle that are bringing it back and seeing like really good returns with it. But it's interesting to see it go in and out of fashion of like having a mascot or just having a character that is regularly in branding. Um,
Yeah, that's actually what my it's actually what my dissertation's about,
really?
which is crazy. Yeah, I feel like that should have come up before now. But yeah, so I basically looking at the there's a couple of angles I could take with it, but
Hmm.
one is, the impact of mascots and how they make people feel and like the ethical implications of having
Of
them
course.
on, like a high sugar product, for example.
Yeah.
And how people sort of resonate with them emotionally and stuff. So, yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting to look at because they definitely have made like a resurgence.
Hmm. Are
I'm just
you in your
gonna
dissertation, are
duplicate
you
that.
kind of advocating for it, against it, or is it a neutral kind of just assessment of mascots?
Trying to stay as neutral as possible.
Okay.
Just because I love a mascot, so I don't wanna. No, I think it's good to stay neutral in these things and look at both sides of it
Right.
because we all have like such a nostalgic sort of link to them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, like the ones I always think of are like the cereal brands and
Of
things, and I'm
course.
sure it's different over in the US. There's probably a lot more of them.
Oh, there's so, I
But yeah,
mean,
I don't know.
they once again in and out of fashion as to like, I mean, of course they're towards children, and also cereal itself has really been declined in sales over the last like 20 years. But
Oh, really?
you have Trix Rabbit, you have the Lucky Charms guy, you had, I mean,
We have
growing up
him
there were
now,
a
yeah.
thousand. There's a few that stood the test of time. Even at the beginning of this stream, I said Snap Crackle Pop, and I wasn't even, you know,
Oh, of course.
wasn't even
Yeah.
thinking about it.
It's so like ingrained in your brain, isn't it? Like pop
Yeah,
culture, mascots, all these things that just sort of remind you of your childhood. It always makes me think of when you used to get toys in the boxes, but they don't do that anymore. Or at least they don't do that here.
yeah. No, there's definitely something for whimsy to be said for branding and just association with a brand or just an experience. Um,
Yeah.
the thing that's also interesting, mascots being prevalent, I don't know, at least in America, is I associate them very heavily with sports teams. And
Yes.
they never went out of fashion with sports teams, even during the years when they went out of fashion in other consumer products. Um, which would also be interesting to check out on your
Yeah,
dissertation.
I wonder why that is. Like if there was a reason that sports teams chose to sort of maintain that.
Yeah.
Because
All
that is
right.
what you think of, isn't it? Like the big suits that people wear.
Yeah, the gigantic mascots. Like,
Yeah.
it would be so. In my high school, um, which is for us, ninth grade to 12th grade, um, you didn't tell anyone who you were the mascot, and then the tradition is you would wear the feet during graduation, um, which I thought was like such a
That's so
cute
fun.
thing. And it wasn't
Yeah,
me.
so no one
I
knew
knew the person,
until
but they never told me that they were the mascot. And then like graduation day, they walk across, and it's cute. So
it's like a an alter like identity there.
right.
They just aren't at the sports matches, but no one knows why.
But nobody knows why. They always like have an excuse, or like sometimes even they'd go away, they'd change, and then they come back. So it's like go to the bathroom, come
Oh,
back, but
sneaky.
or like I'm gonna get a drink or something. Not alcohol because you can't drink under 21 here, but
Yeah, it's not a huge thing here. Like we have them for some sports, like maybe like hockey and things I know are quite big and the teams do have them, but they're not around as often, I think,
of course.
as you guys have them.
All right, so I'm gonna end the poll for the pumpkin spice latte. The winning thing
You all had
is
your
the
chance.
majority of people have not had one. 47% said they never had one. 33% said yes, they like it, and 20% said that they don't like it. But I am going to start a new poll and just kind of continue this conversation that we have about mascots and branding. And I would like to know if people love them, hate them, or don't feel any certain way about them. Just
I
because I
would
think
be
it's very
interested to know.
interesting.
Maybe I can use this data for my
Exactly. See.
dissertation. I'm
But
getting
wow,
getting
we've
the
already
most out of
kind of
this
like
stream.
gotten through the majority of this character, which is cool. Um,
Yes, I'm just adding some sort of thinner lines here. I'm just gonna make them really subtle, just for her jumper,
and just
like
adjusting the
sweater.
stroke by clicking
Yep.
on them and then going back into your properties panel. Um, and decreasing the stroke weight.
Yeah, so these will all match as well, which will be nice. It'll make sure everything's still cohesive.
Mhm.
And it'll be the same in our hat. And because I just adjusted the stroke weight, these ones are automatically set anyway.
Miriam says that I love mascots and branding, but they don't come naturally to me when creating. Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot. You have to really analyze what they're saying, what they stand for. Um, but,
It's also a completely different skill set, isn't it? Like it's
different
not
skill set.
really a graphic designer's forte. I'd say it's more of an illustrator's forte.
Yeah.
Um, or, people who do actual character design. So it's something you need to sort of take the time to practice and learn. Which is something I wanted to do because they are making such a resurgence. I
Hmm.
find a lot of clients now want them, or they want something that is sort of like a mascot.
Do you feel like you're going to start, based off of what you're learning through your dissertation, you think you're going to probably start incorporating them into more of your branding?
Yeah, maybe. I think they are, honestly, they have such a good place and like they can be super fun. I'm working on a project at the minute that they really wanted a mascot, so we're doing that and we're sort of figuring out right now how it's going to look and how can we make it feel not super juvenile, where it still applies to like adults in a sense.
Right, because
So
that's
that's
tough in
been
itself.
really interesting. Yeah, because I feel like when you put a mascot on anything, it instantly makes it more juvenile, regardless of how you design it. So it's
Yeah.
just being super cautious of that. And the fact we're having to do lots of back and forth about it, it's been really interesting for me to see that.
And this is in its essence something that would probably, I mean, it's like what, ice cream and coffee, right? So it is something
Yeah.
that is supposed to bridge the gap between juvenile and non-juvenile because ice cream and coffee can be consumed by anyone. Um, but this is kind of an extension of a summer series that you had, right?
Yeah, and that one was all about it kind of started when I was looking into Gen Z and
Mm-hmm.
their habits and stress and how
Yeah.
they're like more stressed than ever.
Love that.
And it's the same with millennials. So that's where this all kind of came from. I was like, I want to make something that isn't just a nice design, but also is for a purpose. Like if it was a real brand, what are they trying to say? So the whole idea behind this was encouraging moments of pause for
Yes.
Gen Z, just to sort of sit and take a minute and enjoy just a little moment of joy, really. So that's why I went for sort of playful illustrations and a little bit tongue in cheek, like the hammock is a banana and things, like just doing things that feel a little bit whimsical and are just fun to look at and interact with. So that's what this whole project was about. And I just wanted to sort of build upon that because I had a lot of fun making it. Um, and I'm just sorry, I'm playing with the stroke widths again here just to make it almost look like a stem.
You kind of
I
taper away.
think it's working.
Looks good.
Yeah.
So we're about halfway through our show, a little bit more than halfway actually. We've got about 20 more minutes, but if you guys are just joining in, or if you've been watching the whole time, just as a follow-up, we are with Morgan Hastie. She's creating a playful ice cream character in Adobe Illustrator. We're going over some tips for cleaning vector art. We're going to be looking at some color, and we'll also take a look at some type layouts as well. Then we can see where it gets us. But I did want to see if by any chance we could just take a peek at the pieces that inspired this. I know they're kind of off to the left on the artboard, right?
Yeah, so this is actually the original design that I did
Wow, they're
here.
so cute. I love them
So we
so
had like a
much.
coconut, a s'more, pineapple, banana. So it's very much just building upon this and using the same color palette, which I've got here. And I feel like I've got a lot of kind of fall tones in there despite not doing it on purpose. So that's good for me. I'm not having to add too many. But yeah, I think just sort of taking inspiration from that style, but creating a new character because the reason this works so well for packaging is because each character sort of lives in its own little environment on the pack.
Of
So they've all
course.
got like a little setting or you know, they've got like a little scene around them, if you will.
And
And
something
that
that,
sort of allows, sorry, what were you
no,
saying?
I interrupted you. Keep going.
Oh no, it's just saying like that allows for the brand world to sort of expand with seasonal flavors and
Of course.
things. So these are always worth bearing in mind when you're building out for a brand that wants to sort of grow and expand.
Yeah. I think something that artists and designers have to fine tune and also kind of wrangle with or lean in and enjoy is something that as a kid, you look at these compositions, you look at these mascots and these worlds, and your brain automatically fills in the empty parts to understand that this character lives outside of this image. But then you grow up and you start drawing the image and you realize that there is no such world outside of the confines of it. So when you're watching a TV show or you're playing a video game or you're looking at a box of coffee, your brain, you kind of have to retrain to have the whimsy of a child and be like, okay, how do I continue this brand messaging and this brand world that I've created when I create a new box because it doesn't exist yet, but I need to make sure that it feels like it existed already.
Yeah, it's really important, I think, to rediscover play. And that's something that I think I've chatted about before, but I actually did. This is going to be a long-winded way to get to this point, but I did a biology degree before going back to graphic design
You didn't.
and
No way,
doing that
really.
again. Yeah, which is crazy to think back because it's like I could not tell you a single thing anymore about
I doubt
biology.
that. I'm sure you could still run circles around me.
But doing that, I sort of lost my creativity in a way because I was always told, you can't make any money as an artist and you can't do anything creative and it's not a good job and blah blah blah. I'm sure we've all heard it at some point. It's obviously not true. So eventually I thankfully realized that and I realized biology wasn't for me. And then I went and did acting for a year.
Well, okay.
And which sort of now looking back, people often ask me if I felt like it was a waste of time. But to come back to your point about rediscovering like whimsy and fun, I don't think the acting for a year was a waste of time because it really taught me how to like play again
Right.
and how to get back into that headspace of, being like a kid again. And that was really valuable for me as a designer. And looking back, I'm like, oh, that really taught me, like, it helped me get my creativity back. And
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be where I'm at with uni if I didn't have that little gap in between. So yeah, I think it's super important to rediscover those feelings and almost be in tune with them,
I
even
know a lot of business
slightly.
retreats, like even people in C-suite often tend to have retreats that then incorporate improv because so much of it is dealing with other people, being able to like open your mind to new experiences or new approaches. So yeah, I definitely don't think that it's a waste of time. Jack says acting is super important. We did some acting in a character animation class in college. Yeah, especially when it comes to the arts and creating. I think that there's nothing but good things that are added to your skill set. Miriam's
Yeah,
also saying
definitely.
that
And
they have the same kind of background here, but they have a degree in education. Oh, which is great. Which is also like great to be able to have creative skills with education because the more that you can, I don't know, leverage exciting ways to present information, the better. Like,
yeah, kids love like not being bored.
yeah.
I'm just making a copy of this because what I'm actually going to do is outline the strokes here
Woo.
and just, yeah, I've got a backup.
Yeah,
I
that's always
swear.
good to have a backup.
Yep. And
That's
then
what
I'm
I've
just
definitely
going to go
learned.
in with, yeah, honestly, the amount of times that I've just forgotten to do that. And then it's like, oh, okay, that's just gone now. Okay, cool.
Right.
Like, nice. I've
All
just
right.
lost the original, but
And then where are we
you
now? Are
kind of
we
just have to.
in the shape builder?
Yes, so we're
Okay.
in Shape Builder, and I'm just basically trimming these little lines I don't need. So where that cloud overlaps, for example, I want the cloud to be in
Hmm.
front, so I'm just going to slice that away by holding down the Option key.
Okay.
And then I'm going to highlight the whole thing, and I'm just going to start coloring. So there's a lot of ways you can do that, and I'm sure we all have our own way. I like to use the Shape Builder tool because I think it gives me a little bit more freedom because I don't have to like release it to
Yep.
access the color. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Everyone
of
I tell
course.
this to thinks I'm crazy for doing it that way. They're
No,
always like, "Oh,
it's
but why would you?"
interesting doing these streams. Like a lot of people have their own process of like whether or not they're using Pathfinder more, or they're using like I don't know, shape builder, or they're using I don't know, flurry of different tools to be able to then
Essentially
create
do the same thing, yeah.
kind of towards the end. But it all just comes down to preference in the end.
No, it is honestly like I don't know, I think that's just my favorite way of doing it, and I always recommend it to people, but again, it is just interesting for me to always see how different people do different things. Because sometimes I see someone else doing something in their workflow and I'm like, oh, that actually seems really good. I'm gonna do that. And then I sort of adopt it into mine. That's why I like watching things like this.
Now, I know we talked a little bit about it before the stream to be completely transparent, but since we are working with ice cream related stuff, what is your favorite
Yes.
flavor of ice cream?
Mine is banana, but I know that that's like a rogue answer.
This is so
So
strange to me.
yeah, I know. I knew because it's a thing here, but then everyone I say it to in Scotland as well is always like, "What?" Like as if that's a strange answer to give. I don't
Yeah,
know. I think it's great. It's almost like it just tastes like a banana milkshake
which
in a
is
way.
great. I do love a banana milkshake, but I would
Yeah.
never think to have a banana sundae that is not just a banana split with like bananas on the side, you know?
Yeah, I get what you mean where it's just like bananas with ice cream on top, not actual banana flavored
Yeah.
stuff. But honestly, it's so good. So you get banana or you get like banoffee, but banana is the best, I think.
By the way, the way that you are filling in these with color, you're going obviously to your palettes, which you looks like you have universal colors turned on, which is cool. Um,
Yes, I'm actually just going to open up the color palette because
and
it's
then are you
kind
still
of
using the shape builder tool to use the kind of fill function within the shape builder tool?
yes. So I've got the shape builder tool open and I'm sort of just on that all the time. And with the colors here, I'm not gonna lie, I'm very much just coloring with my heart, using this color palette, which is a nice way to do it when we
Right.
have that freedom. Um, recent colors is good because I can just grab ones that I'm using a bit more frequently. But yeah, I'm just grabbing like the color here, and then when you use the shape builder, that's automatically loaded in, so it'll create a new shape inside here in that color,
Beautiful.
which is good.
And yeah, I like the
So then
little
when I come
roll
out
up
of
of
that,
the
I'll be able
beanie
to move
underneath.
it.
About to enter beanie
Yeah, just add
season.
in those little details, you know?
Jacob is bringing us full circle and saying not only does he love cinnamon ice cream, but he also loves coffee flavored ice cream. Uh,
Oh, cinnamon ice cream is good.
cinnamon ice cream can be really good, but it can also be overpowering if it's made by the wrong company. Also, Kane is saying
Annoyingly,
cookies
we
and
don't really have
cream
it
or
here.
Rocky Road, which I love
Oh,
both of those as
nice.
well.
I feel like they're good choices as well. Strong choices.
I would normally have cookie dough over cookies and cream though, which I feel like is controversial.
Yes, potentially. I feel like cookie dough is good from certain brands, but then sometimes I'm not a massive fan of it.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know, it really depends. I like when there's massive chunks inside of it,
yeah,
like those huge kind of balls of cookie dough that you get, rather than
yes.
just, yeah, it's good.
Whereas like sometimes with the cookies and cream, it's just so blended that it's like there's no cookie in it. I'm like, I wanted the cookies of the cookies and cream, not
Yeah,
just the
like I
cream
want
part.
I want texture in there, not just ice cream with a slight flavor to it.
Miriam saying cookies and cream or caramel all the way, or caramel. I don't freaking know. I'm always so confused. And then do
We
you
always say
tend to
ca
put
caramel, but
toppings on your ice cream, or do you just tend to go straight with just ice cream?
I go straight ice cream
Straight ice cream.
always.
All right. So you're
Yeah.
being
It's honestly, we get toppings here, but it's not, I had toppings when I was in New York and we don't have toppings like that.
not
We
like
don't get
that,
like
not like
hot
Cold
fudge and
Stone
things
where it's
here.
like a whole 3 layers on top of it.
Yeah, like I feel like that's unreal. Like I would love that. We don't have that here. We literally just get, do you want marshmallows? And then they're usually like really
Marshmallows.
stale.
Interesting. Marshmallows. I like never put marshmallows on my ice cream.
We'll get like we have your typical like strawberry sauce or maybe like a chocolate, but we don't have like the good stuff like hot fudge and things. We just I think we're lacking severely in the ice cream sundae game here.
Hmm.
So I would only ever just get like a cone and then the ice cream on top, and that would be it.
Oh yeah, I tend to go for just a bowl rather than a cone, which is also sacrilege, but I'm just like, just give me the ice cream.
No, I get that. I used to be, well, we call it a tub here, but I used to be like a tub
A
person.
tub. Tub is so much more fun.
Yeah. And then I was like, do you know what? It depends on the cone because sometimes you get those waffle cones that taste
Mm-hmm.
really good.
Yep.
And I actually really enjoy those. So I'm like, oh, do you know what? I really want the cones. I really, honestly, it's all contextual. It's all contextual.
Much
Depends where
like
I
design,
am.
right? Like,
Yes.
speaking of design here with
Selective.
your line colors, do you tend to go kind of with a uh, darker color rather than matte black?
Yes, I think the black for me is too harsh.
Right.
And I think maybe that comes from my background of like just general graphic design and being told to always do like a slight
Right.
off color. But yeah, I think sometimes black is a little bit too harsh, especially for an illustration like this.
Of
So
course.
I've gone for what I could probably describe as like a deep khaki green. Um, and I think it works nicely. It's yeah,
Did you
you can
pull
kind
that
of
from
see it
your
here.
color palette off to the left?
Yes, so this is
You
my
did.
color
Okay.
palette, and then this is the color I'm drawing
That's
my
what
lines
the
with.
lines are for. Got it.
And it's essentially like a deep version of this color.
Got it. How did you
That I
generate your
just
colors? Did you just do that by hand?
yeah, so I like to sort of just do it by hand. So I'll pick my four kind of core colors, which was these ones here.
Right.
And then as I went, I started working with the khaki green as an outline. It used to be a teal, but then it sort of evolved and it just evolved as the design went. But then at one point, I actually used generative recolor as well, just to see if I was maybe missing something, if there was
Yeah.
another option. Um, and I ended up with this palette, and I was actually super happy with it. I think it is really nice when it's all together as well. And there's some nice contrast in there as well. Like the dark is really good for typography and things. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
if you when
think
you are doing it by hand, do you tend to and this is just down to preference and wondering what you do you tend to like mess with saturation or like hue or luminance, or are you kind of opening up the rainbow swatch and moving the eyedropper around to kind of just something that feels right?
honestly, it really depends. Sometimes
Hmm.
I'll actually just go into the color panel itself and go into say like CMYK or RGB or whichever gamut I'm using,
Yeah,
and I'll do it manually with the sliders because it allows me to sort of control how much black I'm adding, how much, saturation there is, if I
of
want to
course.
warm it up slightly or cool it down. I think that that's a really good way to do it. So I would literally just go in here and add a new swatch and sort of slide these around.
And that way
And
it
I
feels
really,
consistent.
again, yeah, and I feel like it allows me because sometimes when you do shades of a color or you add like black, it gets a little bit muddy looking or like murky. I'm just gonna get rid of the sketch underneath here.
Look at all those.
But yeah, look at that. Oh no, the anxiety that gives me. Um,
I love
but
it.
yeah, I feel like it gets a little bit murky or muddy, so it's nice to kind of know that I can control it a little bit more, if that makes
Certainly.
sense.
Oh, now it's feeling
Like
real
I'm actually
autumnal.
just about to do here. I'm gonna go in and just select same fill for all of these ones.
Same fill color. Oh, I didn't even know. Wait, what did you just do? What was that?
So select same and then fill color.
Oh, and it just
And it will
grabs all
select,
of the same. Interesting. Okay. I've done before where
yeah.
I've like right clicked or option clicked and done similar or what have you, but I've never gone up to the
Hmm.
select menu at the top. That's smart.
It's really good for things like this because I want to use the orange background. And I realized that I'd made her hair that color.
Yeah.
So I feel like the contrast is lacking a little bit.
Hey, she can't help it if
Um,
she is an autumn, like she is what she is.
that's such a thing,
Also, it's
isn't it?
looking
That
like
seasonal color.
one section of your pumpkin there on the right is missing a fill.
Yes. Oh no. You're right. This
Right
one
there.
here.
That bad boy.
There we go. Fixed it.
Yeah. There's
I'm
to
just
be
gonna add
different.
some really quick shading, and I'm just going to do this by creating a compound path here, just to make it look like she's sitting on the ground, really.
Okay. And then using
And I'm just
the block
dark
tool,
blue, pencil tool, paintbrush tool,
paintbrush
not
tool. All
pencil
right.
tool. Don't use the pencil tool for that.
I'm learning things,
But
seeing where I
yeah,
get
I
to.
just turned it into a compound path so that I could do the draw inside because if you don't do the compound path thing, you'd have to do each leg individually.
And we
Whereas
ain't got
when
time for
you,
that. We've got like 4 minutes left.
no, for this, I could just quickly do this. And
And it makes it
there
so
we
clean
go.
for
Just
you.
added
That's
some
so nice.
shading. So now what I'm going to do is basically drag this gal over onto the ice cream package that we have, this layout. Because it's a chain, it's a
Hmm.
range of products, it's pretty easy to sort of just duplicate it.
Of course.
So I'm just
Just
going to
chilling
drag
is
her
a
over
cute name
here.
for it.
It's so fun, isn't it? Because all the characters are, they're just chilling.
They're just chilling, and it is just chilly, because it's by temperature, it's also chill.
That was the thing. It's like double meaning. I'm glad you
Love it.
caught that because some people didn't. And I was like, guys, it's an ice cream brand. Like
Oh, come on.
that's the
That's
thing.
okay. They're not our people. It's fine.
No, they were like, is it because they're like relaxing? And it was like, well, yeah, kind of, but also
But
the
also both.
name because of the ice cream. Ugh, but yeah,
Marshmallow biscuit
shiny.
flavored gelato bites wrapped in chocolate
I
cookie
wish it
dough.
was real.
Oh yeah, I would love that. They kind of remind me of the what are they called? Dibs, I think. I think by like Eddie's or something. I don't know if you have them. They even sell them at movie theaters
Oh,
now. Well, not now. They've
the
split up
little
like 15
like
years.
cookie dough bites, isn't it?
Kind of, yeah.
I
But they're
feel like I've
like
seen these. We
they're
don't have
they're hard
them.
shelled, and then they have ice cream on the inside, and you can like pop
Oh,
them.
that's so good.
They're great. Pumpkin spice, which
Also
means
want
that
pumpkin
the
spice
majority of
latte,
people that are
but
watching this don't even know what that tastes like because they've never had a pumpkin spice latte, which is crazy
I
to
feel
me.
like you guys need to try one. Because
Oh,
at least I can say like, you know what? I've tried it. I don't like it.
yeah.
I feel like you guys need to try it to
Try
be able
everything
to
once.
rule it out, you know? I don't know why I can't grab these little guys here. Okay, there we go.
These little
Get rid of
beans.
these. These were like really quick shadows that I added before, but
Yeah.
now they're just kind of in the way.
Story of my life. And it's amazing how quickly this came together with just being able to use the template and bringing it in,
That is
something so polished so
honestly the
quickly.
best part about packaging design. Like you can have one template made and it's all set up and it's great because all the packaging is going to have the same format anyway. Oh my gosh, my layers are giving me anxiety.
Yeah, yeah. As we were talking about it at the beginning, it makes life a little bit more difficult later, but that's for later us. We
Really
don't have to worry
does.
about that now. Oh, and the
But
orange looks
yeah,
so
so if
good
you,
with the yellow. Oh, great. And it fits
good
right
thing we've got
in.
that contrast in there. I'm just gonna put it beside the rest of the range.
Yeah.
Um, and then I guess what I would usually do is grab like a little image off of Adobe stock, make a really quick client visual, which is a nice little technique because I can just do it within Illustrator and it's great.
Nice and
Let me
simple.
see if I can just quickly mock this up. I'm on the clock here.
And we got about a
It's
minute
here.
left. We're
Oh
gonna
my
hit that
gosh, come on,
create mock-up
Adobe.
button and we're gonna see where it gets
Come on,
us.
Illustrator.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. While we're waiting for that to go through, where can we find you online before we say
Yes.
goodbye?
You can, yeah, you can find me at the Logo Lassie. So you can find me on Instagram, Behance, LinkedIn, TikTok, literally anywhere you think you could find me. That's the name. It's at the Logo Lassie. But if you search my name, Morgan Hastie, as well, that should also
That should also
lead you
probably
to
pop right up.
me.
So
Yeah.
cute. It looks so
And then we're just
good.
gonna switch
Nice
that.
little, nice little
I'm gonna do a
presentation
little
quickly. Oh yeah, the
multiply.
multiply so you
There
get
we
those edges in there
go.
as well. Nice. All
Super
right.
cute.
Well, thank you so much for walking us through this whole illustration process. It was really fun talking to you. Really looking forward to hearing more about your dissertation. We talked a lot about mascots today, but I think it's going to be really interesting to see where you're going next with both your classes and also your branding.
Yes.
It was a pleasure to have you on, and thank you so much for sharing your process.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ryan, for having me. And thanks to everyone for coming along and saying hi.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you to everyone in our chat. Make sure you guys stick around if you're here, like Miriam, Kane, Jacob, Jack. Um, if I'm missing anyone, we have Kurt Arby and the Imaginative Fairy, Stephen. Coming up next, we have File New with yours truly. So make sure you stick around. Well, that's some creator news and some designer news and everything in between. But as for now, we are going to take a quick, like, 4-minute break. So thank you so much, Morgan, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right,
Bye.
bye.